Who chose to spend the holiday in Galveston avoided most of the rain and didn't have to deal with the dead fish, but they did have to maneuver around piles of seaweed on the sand. Fox 26's John Donnelly checked out that scene for us.
This stuff all over the beach here. This is sargassum, and it comes from the Sargasso Sea, way out in the Atlantic Ocean. Finally makes its way in here, and you can see there's plenty of it here along the beach, but more importantly, there's tons of it. I mean, literally tons of it, piled up in these massive piles along the seawall. And there is a potential health hazard lurking inside this sargassum. Here to talk about it is the Tox Doc. What's so dangerous in here?
So the major danger in here is the fact that it's floating through these contaminated waters and it's picking up levels of fuel oil, various types of fuel oil, because there's multiple types of fuel oil that are out there. So you've got a wide variety of toxicants that are concentrating at a low level. Sargassum is so important because out in the free waters, it's like an oasis. It's a bed of sorts. Seahorses will take a ride on here. Lower species will come in. They'll use it for nutrition, not just a ride. And if it's contaminated, it's going to concentrate up the species, up the food chain, the ecological food chain, because as it's consumed and it gets higher and higher, it bioconcentrates. And so then when we consume the larger fish or crab or oysters, we've got a much higher concentration from what they picked up in this sargassum.
And these major piles that they have going on here, they need these. It actually helps with control beach erosion and build the dunes.
Certainly.
But then that creates another problem in your mind.
Certainly, because if it has gone through one of these recent oil spills and it's gotten higher concentrations than normal, there's a potential for runoff. And a lot of times we don't think about that. We only think about, well, it smells because it's got, sulfur in it as it rots. But there's more of an issue here. We want to keep this healthy. Some people actually consume this. We want them to know that if they're eating this, they should be very careful about where they get their brown algae from, because you don't want to get it from contaminated waters.
And this is a big year. They've had a lot more this year than they've had in previous years.
A lot more than usual, and I mean, this can actually be tracked. I mean, when the sargassum mounds are long enough, I mean, you can actually see it from space.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Anyway, so there you go. Don't eat this. In Galveston, John Donnelly, Fox 26 News.